Welcome to today's module meeting. In today's module, we'll be reading closely some pages in the book, The Little Red Pen. So we'll be looking closely at these pages, about 20 of them, and going a little bit deeper and looking closely with our magnifying glass to find out what's going on in the story. Today, we actually have 2 learning targets, and the learning targets for today are as follows. The first target is I can identify a character's feeling by using evidence from the illustration and the text. The second target is I can identify the characters or important events from a text. So once again, the text we're reading today is called The Little Red Pen. We are going to go ahead and read this letter that we received from headquarters. In this letter, there's little emoji faces that we're going to try to fill in with feelings that the author of this letter has given us. So here's the letter. It says, one more challenge. Wow, headquarters is happy with all of your progress on the mission. You have done a great job learning about habits of character. Your ideas about both tools and your ideas about habits of character will both be needed to create your own magnificent thing for your classroom at your house. Don't be worried. You have just one more challenge to complete. The people at headquarters know you are tired from all your hard work with the most magnificent thing, but they are blank that you may not be able to find habits. They are worried that you may not be able to find habits of character in other places. Your last challenge is to take everything you've learned about the habits of character and use it while you look at and listen to a new book. Headquarters hopes you paid attention during the most magnificent thing because now you need to show how much you learned by finding evidence in this new book, The Little Red Pen. Headquarters is sad when they don't hear from you, so go get... What does that say? So go get started. So headquarters is giving us another challenge, it sounds like. And it's going to be about habits of character and applying it to this new book called The Little Red Pen. So hopefully you saw those faces and you knew what the emojis meant. Some of them were a little bit tricky to figure out, but I feel like we've got it. So we are going to look closely at pages 1 to 22 in The Little Red Pen. And we're going to start by looking at the very front cover. So let me go ahead and stop our share, and I'm going to share it again using our document camera this time. So look at the front cover of the book. Again, it's called The Little Red Pen by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell. I wonder if they're related. They have the same name here. It is a New York Times best-selling, or they are New York Times best-selling authors. And if we look at all the tools on the front cover, I wonder why they all have faces. So if you look at the scissors, you'll see his eyes. The red pen. She has little glasses on so she can look closely at papers. The ruler, the stapler, the pencil sharpener, it looks like. The highlighter even has a face. The eraser. And the thumbtack, which we all learned about him the other day. And then right here, I'm wondering what this is. I can't put my finger on who that is. Maybe you guys know. But why do all these tools have faces? Well, this type of book is a fiction book, and these are the characters. So we know all these characters can't really talk in real life, all these tools, but in the book, they talk. So that's probably why they have faces, and they have feelings, and they have emotions that we're going to study a little bit closer today. So let's go ahead and turn to page 1, and we're going to look closely at the book, and we're going to stop here and there to answer some questions that I have. So the book starts off by saying, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's get to work. So Little Red Pen is saying, let's get to work. And she has all these papers. Oh my goodness, that she needs to grade. I bet she's feeling a little bit overwhelmed. The Little Red Pen whirled about, checking, circling, and marking out. Scritch, scratch, scritch. And in the drawer, all the tools saying, oh no, she's at it again. Don't move. Shh. I'm not helping anymore. Yeah, too risky. Silencio. So I think they're hiding from her because they don't want to work anymore. So the little red pen says, there's too much to do. Where are my helpers? Stapler, scissors, pencil, eraser, push pin, highlighter. Are you hiding in the drawer? Get up here now. If the papers aren't graded, the students won't learn. The school might close, the walls might tumble, the floors might crumble, the sky might fall. It might be the end of the world. Oh no. Who will help me save the world? So now you get to see what the characters are like. Not I, said Stapler. Not I, said Scissors. Not I, said Pencil. What? Says the Sleepy Eraser. Not I. Yo, no. Why not? Says Little Red Pen. And these are their reasons why they don't want to help. Stapler says, my back is killing me. Everybody keeps pounding on it. I could break. And that's what you do with a stapler. You pound on it so his poor back hurts. I write all day. And what do I get? Sharpened down to a nub. A nub is small. Who needs a nub? And Pushpin says, don't call me Pushpin. My name is Señorita Chinchita, and I am La Ultima Chinchita. If I get lost, no more chinchitas. Comprendo? Comprende? Do you understand? Scissors says, I've been cutting up all day. I'm getting dull. Not good for a sharp guy like me. And Eraser says, what was the question? I forget everything. My head, oh no, it's shrinking. And Highlighter says, I'm bright, not crazy. Remember Mr. Felt Tip Marker? His cap was left off and you know where he ended up. In the garbage. The pit of no return, everyone cried. The trash. Poor Felt Tip Pen, huh? Rubbish, the Little Red Pen frowned. You can't spend your life hiding, worrying about the pit. There's work to be done, and I need help. Well, Big Bossy Ballpoint, said Scissors, why don't you talk? Why don't you ask Tank? He'd be a big, huge help. That's Tankzilla, remember. Tank, that lazy hamster, never, said the Little Red Pen. The papers must be graded. I'll have to do it all by myself. And so she did. Well, she tried. I think she found out she couldn't do it by herself. So there's a word on this page that shows some feelings. It says rubbish. The Little Red Pen frowned. You can't spend your whole life hiding, worrying about the pit. There's work to be done, and I need your help. So on this page, the feeling that's being showed is the word frowned. When you're frowned, you're disappointed or unhappy about something. So it sounds like she's kind of disappointed and unhappy that her friends are not going to help her and that all they worry about is falling into the pit. So she's feeling a little unhappy. So here she goes, scritch, scratch, scritch, grading those papers. The Little Red Pen worked long into the night. In the wee hours of the morning, she could barely move across the page. She wibbled, she wobbled. She's so tired, she's wibbling and wobbling. Then, she fell over exhausted. the little red pen began to roll right to the edge of the desk. Another feeling. She felt exhausted. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy. I'm worn out is how she was feeling. And she was wibbling and wobbling, and she rolled right into the trash can. Clunk. And all her buddies are sleeping in the drawer, and they hear the clunk. What was that? Yelled Stapler. The sky is falling, cried Pencil. It's the end of the world. No, it's not, said Highlighter. It's probably Tank moving around in his cage. Scissors rolled his eyes. No way, Big Boy never moves. Is it the end? Said Pencil. I heard Pen say it. What are we going to do? We're going up, snipped Scissors. Get the lead out, Stubby. Yeah, said Eraser. Let's go. Go. Where are we going? I forgot. To the desktop, Chinchita shouted. Vámonos, arriba, arriba. Let's go now, quick, quick. So they're all up on the paper, on the desk. Ay caramba, muchos papers. Oh no, holy cow. A lot of papers is what that means in Spanish. Pen's gone, cried Pencil, and the papers aren't finished. The students won't learn. It is the end of the world. It is not the end of the world, muttered Stapler. How do we know for sure? Asked Highlighter. The papers have always been graded. Who knows what will happen if they're not? I know, said Eraser. What? They all glared. I forgot. Scissors shook his head. The end of the world could be worse than the pit. The papers must be graded. We'll have to do it ourselves. And so they did. Well, they tried. Scissors grabbed a paper. No capital letter. Clip. Oh no, he just cuts them up. Don't do that. Snip. Not like that, Stapler groaned. You cut it to shreds. Let me do it. Eraser, hop on. I see a misspelled word. Bam, this sentence needs a verb. Bam, this whole paragraph is wrong. Bam, 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 bam. What the stapler's doing to the paper. Mr. Cat would never give you papers back that are cut up or with staples all over them. These tools do not know how to grade. Not like that, said Highlighter. Too many staples. Let me do it. Squeak, squeak, squeak. He's just coloring all over it. Not like that, Eraser squinted. Too bright. Let me do it. He's erasing all the papers. Not like that. Rubbity rub, smudgety smudge. Not like that, Numbskull, said Scissors. You erased everything, even the student's name. Whose paper is it? Uh-oh, I forgot, moaned Eraser. So look at what these tools are doing. What's the Scissors doing? He's cutting it up. What's the stapler doing? Oh, there's a wasp flying around here. He is stapling every page. What's the highlighter doing? He's coloring all over it. And the eraser's erasing everything. This is terrible. A catastrophe. Que desastre, I believe. Awful. What now? It is the end of the world, says Pencil. Who will help us save the world? So what is the problem in this story? What is the problem? The problem in this story is that the little red pen needed to grade all the papers. Her friends refused to help. And so she tried to stay up all night doing it by herself, and she fell in the trash. So now the characters, the other tools, are trying to help. And in my opinion, they're not doing it quite right. So all in all, the problem is no one would help her, and now she's in the trash. So they're going to have to try to figure out how to get her out, right? So as we continue with our slideshow, here are some new feelings that we added. Little Red Pen frowned. She was very sad that no one would help her and that they were all worried about falling in the trash. And she stayed up all night. So down here, she now is feeling exhausted. And that's where she wobbled and ended up in the trash can. So those are some feelings that we saw in the book. We saw the word frowned, meaning she's sad or disappointed, or worried. No, not worried. Sad or disappointed, I think. And exhausted. She's yawning. She's tired. So if we go back to page 12, it says, circle the word that helped you know how she was feeling. Rubbish, the Little Red Pen frowned. You will need to circle which smiley face shows frowned, and we'll talk about it during our Zoom meeting. So it says, circle the word that helped you know how she was feeling. Rubbish, the Little Red Pen frowned. I want you to pick the emoji that's showing frowned. And in the next one, circle the word that helped you know how she was feeling. She wibbled, she wobbled, then she felt overexhausted. Think about which of those words mean exhausted. And if you need to go to the last slide to help you, you can do that too. So moving on to the last part of our lesson, it's your doing work and habits of character response sheet. You will respond to this question. What will help the characters in the book get their work done? So I've included in this box right here the word collaborate, initiative, and perseverance. What will help the characters in this book get the job done or get the work done? If you are in kindergarten, you're going to draw and record. And of course, if you want to be challenged, you can also write. And if you're in first or second grade, you're going to draw and write one good sentence. And again, if you want to be challenged, you can push yourself and write more than one. So you could write 2 or 3, it's up to you. Remember, I would like to have your pictures colored and not just done in pencil, but really take your time to make your picture. And then if you are writing, really take your time to work on the skills that we're working on during our small group, which will be handwriting and tapping out to spell things correctly. I look forward to seeing and hearing your responses when we meet back together at 9:45 or 10. You have 2 things that you need to work on, the written response and then also circling those emojis to show what the word frowned means and the emoji that shows exhausted. I look forward again to seeing you, and thank you so much for joining me in today's module lesson.